Welcome to our channel, The Stoic Way. What if I told you that seduction isn't loud, flashy, or even intentional, but rather a subtle dance of psychology and instinct? A woman who desires intimacy rarely announces it outright. Instead, she reveals her intentions through whispers of body language, changes in voice and proximity that lingers just a second too long. These signs aren't chaotic. Flashes in the dark, they are carefully orchestrated movements, sometimes conscious, often unconscious, yet most men blinded by ego or impulse miss them entirely. Here's where the Stoic man has the advantage. Stoicism isn't about detachment from the world, but mastery of it. The Stoic does not react impulsively to external cues, but observes them with clarity, wisdom, and patience. By grounding yourself in this ancient philosophy, you gain the ability to perceive subtle signals that others overlook and act with calm certainty when the moment is right. This isn't just theory, psychological research backs it up. Studies from behavioral scientists show that attraction often unfolds in micro-expressions, fleeting gestures, glances, and tonal shifts that signal deeper intentions. Women in particular are adept at crafting these nonverbal cues, testing a man's awareness without ever stating their desires directly. So how do you spot these signals without losing yourself to overanalysis or false assumptions? In this guide, we'll explore 6 powerful signs a woman may want to sleep with you, decoded through a psychological and stoic lens. Each sign, if understood correctly, offers insight not only into her desires, but into your own self-mastery. Let's dive into this silent language of attraction. Stay grounded, stay sharp. The Stoic observes and knows when to act. Sign 1, the slow reveal. Her gaze holds the weight of 1,000 words. Eyes are the windows to the soul, or so they say. But in truth, the eyes are much more than poetic metaphors. They are tools of communication, connection, and sometimes seduction. A woman's prolonged gaze can carry layers of meaning from admiration to curiosity to desire. Yet the challenge lies in discerning these nuances with clarity and maintaining your stoic composure. In psychology, the phenomena of sustained eye contact is linked to increased levels of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. When two people lock eyes, they activate the neural pathways associated with intimacy and trust. Think about how much is communicated without a single word spoken. But unlike men who often approach attraction directly, women tend to use subtler signals, one of which is the intentional lingering gaze. Now here's where the Stoic mindset becomes your superpower. A reactive man might immediately interpret prolonged eye contact as romantic interest and act hastily. The Stoic, however, observes without judgment, interpreting without assumption. Marcus Aurelius himself emphasized the power of perception. Over impulse writing, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Let's break down the components of a woman's gaze when she's interested in you on a physical level. Linger duration. If her gaze holds for more than 3 seconds, it signals a conscious decision to remain engaged with your presence. Softening eyes. Her eyes will typically relax with the muscles around them less tense. This often coincides with genuine emotional warmth or vulnerability. Dilated pupils. While subtle, dilated pupils are an involuntary sign of attraction and heightened interest. Beyond science, there's also the game of cat and mouse. Many women play when using eye contact as a tool of attraction. She may look at you, briefly glance away, and then return to see if you're still paying attention. This is a subconscious form of testing a way for her to gauge your level of interest without risking rejection. So how does the Stoic respond? You acknowledge the gaze, maintain composure, and return eye contact with calm intensity. Do not break it nervously or shift into premature action. The gaze is not just an invitation, it's a dialogue. 1, where silence speaks louder than words. Sign 2, the dance of proximity. She finds ways to be close without asking. Proximity is one of the oldest languages of attraction. A woman who is interested in You may not directly state her intentions, but will instead communicate through spatial cues. This is the art of nearness, without asking a non-verbal signal that invites closeness while preserving plausible deniability. Psychologically, humans have an ingrained understanding of personal space. Edward Hall, a pioneer in proxemics, defined 4 zones of interpersonal space: intimate, personal, social, and public. When a woman intentionally enters your personal space, usually within 18 inches to 4 feet, she's signaling comfort, trust, and often attraction. But how do you distinguish between accidental proximity and deliberate intention? One, consistent presence. Does she find reasons to be near you repeatedly, even when other seating or standing options are available? 2, body orientation pay. Attention to whether her body is angled toward you. Psychologists refer to this as open body language, which is a subconscious indicator of focus and interest. 3rd, incidental contact. She may brush against your arm, lean slightly closer during conversation, or position herself just close enough that her presence feels tangible. Stoicism reminds us not to react impulsively to these signals. Seneca's teachings on patience highlight the importance of waiting for clarity before acting. The Stoic man observes her proximity without immediately assuming desire. He allows her actions to unfold naturally, maintaining composure rather than rushing to conclusions. A common mistake men make is overanalyzing proximity. The Stoic approach requires detachment, not indifference, but calm observation. When you remain grounded, women sense your inner stability, which often amplifies their interest. This is because you're signaling non-neediness, a rare and attractive trait in a world filled with reactive behavior. Another layer to proximity is timing. If she moves closer during emotionally heightened moments, like during laughter or after sharing a personal story, this amplifies the likelihood of her attraction by staying attuned to these shifts without verbal acknowledgement. You maintain control over the situation and avoid appearing desperate or overeager sign. 3. The subtle touch. Her hands speak louder than her words. Touch is one of the oldest and most powerful forms of human communication. Long before we developed language, touch conveyed everything from comfort to dominance to desire. When a woman desires intimacy, her hands become messengers that speak volumes without uttering a single word. From a psychological perspective, physical touch activates the brain's reward centers, releasing dopamine and serotonin, the same chemicals responsible for feelings of pleasure and connection. Researchers have found that even brief, seemingly accidental touches can significantly increase feelings of attraction and closeness. But here's the key. Women are masters of subtlety when it comes to touch. Unlike men, who may be more overt, women often test boundaries with light, fleeting contacts before escalating to more prolonged or deliberate gestures. Types of subtle touches to watch for: 1. Incidental, grazes. These occur when she brushes against your arm, hand, or shoulder by accident. But in many cases, these touches are anything but accidental. 2. Anchoring touches, when she rests her hand on your arm while making a point during conversation. It signals both confidence and comfort. 3. Playful pushes. A light push accompanied by laughter often indicates flirtation and a desire to create physical chemistry. 4. Lingering contact. If her touch lasts a second longer than necessary, it's a strong indicator of interest. Now, the Stoic response is not to immediately reciprocate or escalate Seneca's advice to accept, but not cling to pleasure applies. Here, acknowledge the touch, but don't react excessively. Your restraint communicates confidence and control, which often deepens her curiosity and attraction. Women are perceptive to how you respond to their touch. If you flinch or pull away, you risk signaling discomfort or disinterest. If you respond too eagerly, you risk coming across as desperate. The middle ground. The Stoic approach is to remain grounded and composed, allowing her to guide the escalation of physical contact naturally. One fascinating psychological insight is the concept of reciprocal touch. When someone touches you, your brain is wired to respond by touching back the Stoic man. However, masters the art of delayed reciprocity. Instead of immediately mirroring her touch, he waits for the right moment, reinforcing his self-control and calm dominance in social psychology. This creates a tension that women often find irresistibly intriguing by not immediately satisfying her subconscious desire for reciprocation. You position yourself as a man who operates on his own terms, a rarity in a world where most people are slaves to instinctual reactions. Sign for the shift in tone. Her voice becomes softer, more intimate. The way someone speaks reveals more than their words. In social psychology, voice modulation is considered a key indicator of attraction when a woman desires deeper connection or physical intimacy. Her vocal tone subtly changes. It becomes warmer, softer, and slower, almost as if she's subconsciously creating a space where only you and she exist. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how conversations sound between lovers compared to strangers? The words themselves might be mundane, but the delivery carries a magnetic charge. This is the vocal paradox of intimacy. The quieter the voice, the stronger its emotional pull. Psychological foundations behind vocal shifts. Research published in Evolutionary Psychology found that both men and women naturally lower their pitch when speaking to someone they find attractive. A deeper, huskier tone signals warmth and trustworthiness, while also stimulating dopamine in the brain of the listener. Women instinctively employ this tactic without even realizing it, leveraging their voice to spark desire, recognizing the signs of vocal attraction. Here are key auditory clues to listen for one's softened volume. If she begins speaking more softly, almost compelling you to lean in, this isn't just coincidence, it's a deliberate attempt to create intimacy. 2. Slower paced speech that becomes more drawn out. Suggest comfort and a desire to hold your attention longer. 3. Playful inflection. Listen for teasing or lilting tones. Playfulness often masks deeper flirtation. 4. Exclusive conversation when her voice changes in private. Conversations compared to group discussions, it's a significant sign that she sees you differently. Stoic application remaining. Rounded amid seductive voices. A Stoic man recognizes these cues, but remains composed. The softness of her voice may stir primal emotions, but you must resist the urge to overreact or interpret it prematurely. Seneca reminds us, he who is everywhere is nowhere. Be present in the conversation, absorb her tone, but do not let it cloud your judgment. By maintaining calm control, you communicate strength and emotional resilience qualities. Women are deeply drawn to your unshaken demeanor, signals that you are not swayed by mere allure, but are grounded in self-mastery. An advanced Stoic tactic here is mirroring without mimicry, while you don't need to lower your voice, artificially maintaining a steady, slightly slower cadence in response creates synchronicity which deepens emotional rapport. This controlled response keeps the conversation charged with tension without making you seem overeager. Sign 5, playful, defiance. She challenges you with teasing and banter. Contrary to popular belief, attraction doesn't always manifest as sweetness or compliance. Sometimes it takes the form of playful defiance, a psychological dance where teasing becomes a tool of seduction. A woman who flirts through banter isn't just being witty, she's testing your ability to keep up, to hold your ground, without breaking the psychology of teasing. Research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that teasing in romantic contexts is a form of relational play. It creates a low-stakes environment for exploring chemistry and compatibility. Women who are attracted to someone often use light-hearted challenges to gauge confidence, and emotional stability. Why does this matter? Because teasing is a double-edged sword for the Stoic man. It's an opportunity to display wit emotional resilience and calm dominance for the reactive man. It becomes a trap leading to defensiveness or awkward overcompensation. Signs of flirtatious defiance. 1. Mocking your preferences. Wait, you like that. Banned, didn't think you were that. Type 2. Playful disagreements. I bet you couldn't even survive a day without your phone. 3. Exaggerated sarcasm. Oh, wow, Mr. Stoic over here doesn't care about anything, huh? The key difference between friendly teasing and flirtatious defiance lies in her delivery. If her eyes sparkle with amusement and her body language remains open, she's inviting you into a playful exchange. Not attacking you, the Stoic response. Mastering playful conflict, Marcus Aurelius wrote. You have power over your mind. Not outside events apply. This wisdom by remaining unshaken in the face of her challenges. Smile, respond with calm humour, and turn her teasing into an opportunity to build rapport. Here's a pro tip: never escalate defensively. Instead, mirror her playfulness with subtle confidence. Her, wow, you think you're mysterious. You calmly, I prefer enigmatic, but close enough by refusing to be rattled. You demonstrate emotional mastery, a trait that not only intrigues women, but fosters. Deeper attraction, playful. Defiance, when navigated correctly, becomes a shared adventure rather than a battleground sign. 6. The mirror effect. She begins mimicking your actions. Imitation, as they say, is the sincerest form of flattery. But in the realm of attraction, it's also one of the most powerful subconscious signals. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as mirroring, where a person unconsciously mimics the gestures, posture, and even speech patterns of someone they are attracted to. Mirroring is rooted in the brain's mirror neurons, which are responsible for empathy and connection. When a woman starts reflecting your behavior, it's a strong indicator that she's subconsciously aligning herself with you, both physically and emotionally. Psychological indicators of mirroring: 1. Posture matching. If you lean back in your chair, she may do the same moments later. 2. Gestural synchrony. Watch for her, mimicking your hand movements or gestures during conversation. 3. Speech patterns. If her tone, pace, or vocabulary starts to resemble yours, it's a clear sign of rapport. 4. Emotional alignment. If your mood shifts and she mirrors that energy, becoming quieter or more animated, it's a deeper form of emotional mirroring. Why mirroring signals? Attraction from a psychological perspective. Mirroring is a way to create subconscious bonding by aligning her behaviour with your. She's essentially saying, we're on the same wavelength. This tactic isn't always deliberate, more often than not. It's instinctual. The Stoic approach, recognizing without exploiting. A Stoic man doesn't manipulate this behavior, but acknowledges it as a natural expression of connection instead of reacting with arrogance or entitlement. He remains humble and observant. Seneca advised, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Apply this principle by maintaining your authenticity. Even as she mirrors, you do not shift your behavior to test her further. This breaks the natural flow of connection, leveraging mirroring for deeper connection. 1. Advanced technique is positive reinforcement. When you notice her mirroring your behavior, reward it subtly, through warmth or humor. For instance, if she mimics your posture, lean in slightly as if to share a secret, creating a sense of closeness. If she adopts your speech patterns, acknowledge the synchronicity with a playful comment. Careful, you're starting to sound like me, by maintaining composure and leading with authenticity. You cultivate a dynamic where attraction blossoms naturally. So there you have it. 6 subtle psychological signs. A woman may want to take things to the next level. But remember, recognizing these signs isn't just about pursuit or conquest. It's about understanding the intricate dance of human connection while remaining grounded in who you are. The Stoic man does not chase desire recklessly, nor does he cling to fleeting pleasures. He observes, interprets, and chooses his actions deliberately in a world obsessed with instant gratification. His calm and controlled approach stands out. That quiet strength is magnetic, more alluring than any smooth line or flashy move, as Marcus Aurelius once wrote. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one the same holds true for attraction. Stop seeking validation from others and focus instead on becoming a man of depth, purpose, and authenticity. The right connections will naturally gravitate toward you. So the next time you sense these signs, remember, your power lies not in reacting impulsively, but in responding with calm confidence. Observe, appreciate, and lead with self-mastery. If you found value in this guide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay strong, stay stoic, and I'll see you in the next one.